The Bible says not to associate with believers who are in unrepentant sin. Did you know that Paul writes in 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 9 through 13, not to associate with Christian believers who indulge in sexual sin, pornography, masturbation, fornicating, and are greedy, selfish. They worship idols, putting anything before the Lord, like money and power and sex, alcohol, drugs, smoking, gambling, sports, food, and are abusive, emotionally, verbally, physically, or sexually. That they drink to excess, or that they cheat people and regularly sinning. It says, sadly, that describes, of course, a lot of people that are in the church. There are many believers who are living ungodly lives full of unrepentant sin with only fleshly fruit, and they have no desires to change. Paul actually says that we are to have nothing to do with them, not even to eat with them, and that we are to judge those who are inside the church who are proclaiming to be believers, but they're really not. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 9 through 13 says, when I wrote to you before, I told you not to associate with people who indulge in sexual sin. But I wasn't talking about unbelievers who indulge in sexual sin, or are greedy, or cheat people, or worship idols. You would have to leave the world to avoid people like that. I meant that you're not to associate with anyone who claims to be a believer, yet indulges in sexual sin, or is greedy, or worships idols, or is abusive, or is a drunkard, or cheats people. Don't even eat with such people. It isn't my responsibility to judge outsiders, but it certainly is your responsibility to judge those inside the church who are sinning. God will judge those on the outside, but the scriptures say you must remove the evil person from among you. So, what if a person says that they're a believer and that they attend church regularly, but they behave evil with fleshly fruit, and maybe you're married to them, maybe, what if they're mocking you and they put you down and they treat you with disdain and they're emotionally abusing you? Are they a real believer? Well, there's no fruit. There's no fruit of the Spirit there at all. So, we are not to tolerate that. That is not what the Lord wanted. You think about Ananias and Sapphira in Acts chapter 5, verses 1 through 11. So Sapphira submitted to her husband, who was not submitted to God. He lied about how much money that they got from their property when they gave it to Peter, and he got her to lie as well. Well, he died instantly. And then 3 hours later, she died because she submitted to him. So if a spouse is not submitted to God, we can't be submitted to them, because they could cause us to have major detrimental effects in our life. Have to understand that. And so if there's a person in the church, they call themselves a Christian, but they're not living like that whatsoever, and the Lord reveals that to you, then have nothing to do with them. So I have a book called Freedom from Soul Wounds and Demons, and it's helping thousands of people around the world to change from struggling in their flesh, struggling with sin, to walking in the fruit of the Spirit and making sin rare in their lives. That book's called Freedom from Soul Wounds and Demons. It's available on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Audible, also in Spanish. And if you would like me to take you through a personal session of healing and deliverance, I've done thousands of sessions with people all over the world, seen miraculous changes in people's lives. Then go out to our website, restored2freedom.com. restoredtofreedom.com. Click on Contact Me and submit the form, or you can call 317-459-7091. Thanks.